Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Papa is D. About to react to this vid by Sloan. This is Wendy Williams' scary downfall after alleged comeback. She looks crazy as hell in this thumbnail. I hope she's okay, but it's not sounding like it based on this title. But I don't know exactly what's occurring. But he's gonna give us all the tea, it seems. Let's watch.
Our exclusive interview with Wendy Williams, talking to TJ about her reported health troubles and the end of her show.
Health is very well. I have the mind and body of a 25-year-old. They say that I need somebody to handle my account, and I don't want that. Give me about 3 months. There are private things that I have to deal with. Keep watching, because I'm going to be back on the Wendy show, bigger and brighter than ever.
Wendy Williams needs our help. She's being controlled by a team who's playing the media. In one report, Wendy is completely fine and thriving. And then in another report, she's relapsed on alcohol and won't be returning to media ever again. So let's get into it.
Let's speed it up. He talks really slow.
There's something seriously wrong with Wendy Williams, and we need to talk about it. So let's go over what's been going on with her the past few months, because most recently she was spotted just like standing in the middle of the street in New York.
Yeah, she's like her car, her Uber, her driver. Leave this woman alone. She's clearly waiting for something.
I'm assuming that Wendy has been spending most of her time in New York, but we really don't know much about her because she's been in and out of rehab facilities. In June 2022, her daytime talk series, The Wendy Williams Show, was canceled following an entire season of guest hosts. Since then, Wendy has also spent time in a rehab facility for substance abuse. It's unclear if or when Wendy Williams will return to work, despite her announcing an upcoming podcast series titled The Wendy Experience.
You know, the whole podcast thing, that's probably my biggest achievement right now. Oh, wow. In terms of what I want to do. So the new thing for me is podcasts.
Tell us about it.
Well, I have to tell you, when I finally stopped doing the Wendy Williams show, I said, wow, I can do anything I want or nothing at all. So podcast is one of those things.
So I was really excited for that podcast. Even though the audio is a little bit messed up in there, it seems exciting because I used to watch the Wendy Williams show. But now this podcast that she's been promoting for months is canceled due to health concerns. There are lots of health concerns, and it seems like they try to use that excuse to cover up things. I mean, we know that Wendy's been battling Graves' disease and lymphedema for a while now, which all results in stuff like swollen limbs and overactive thyroid. It can also mess with your weight, and recently Wendy was seen out and about and just saying random things. She said, I'm a pretty 138 pounds, which she wasn't asked about her weight, but she just like shouted it out.
Whoa. Hey, wait, can we get this way too? Hey, guys, right here, this way too, please. All the way around. Thank you. You look great, Wendy.
She stated that she was now 138 pounds.
Because this podcast was coming out, Wendy has been out about celebrating her new projects and her success to come. But now I'm confused because the podcast is ended, yet she's out here at this club smiling and celebrating the show coming about. She told the paparazzi that she just saw the doctors and that's why she knew her weight, but we really don't know what that means for her health. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether she's losing or gaining weight. That's kind of a symptom of the illnesses that she has. But then I found this article from like a week ago where they explained that Wendy actually had her breast implants taken out, which I normally wouldn't talk about this, but sometimes those implants, like, I guess, contribute to illnesses. So she had them removed, which, you know, that was a big part of her identity. People know this because there was a post made where they wrote in the caption that Wendy had undergone this surgery. And I must admit, she looks good. I mean, it looks proportional to her body, and she looks happy and healthy here. So why is the podcast, like, canceled? I mean, Wendy was just seen out and about at a smoke shop, just, like, chilling, and she looked good. She was walking. She's coherent. I don't know where this health concern could have come from.
She doesn't seem well. I was from there.
She even interacted with some fans when she was out and about because I think she needs some help to walk, and I guess someone offered to help her.
I'm going.
Oh, this one she was like, no.
I help you.
Did you help?
No.
Okay.
Period.
Wendy didn't want anything to do with this woman, but this outing and the outing before, I feel like these two instances are planned. Like, her team contacted the paparazzi, and they made sure Wendy looked all good and put together so that they could put her out there and make her seem all right. And the reason why I think it's planned is because as I was doing research for, new clips of her and paparazzi footage, I found this one from someone who's like a YouTube paparazzi, so he's not with any media outlets, and he finds her at a Petco, and she asks him if, I believe someone named Will sent him, so I think she has someone who works for her named Will, who contacts the paparazzis to go to places to take pictures of her, to create headlines and to make it seem like she's doing well. And in this instance, he just kind of stumbled across her, and she wasn't doing well.
Oh my gosh. Did Will have you do this?
No.
You do this on your own?
Yeah.
I'm shopping for kitty litter.
So Wendy was a little bit taken back that this guy was doing this on his own, and I think there's a good reason for this. This video footage and these photos ended up making news, and people claim that Wendy seems frazzled and alarming in this video. She's quoted saying, "I'm shopping for kitty litter because I have a wax museum in Paris and one in California." I think she's talking about like a wax art of herself. She also told the paparazzi that she's going for a week in Paris, then 3 weeks in California, then she flies back. Just kind of like telling them her schedule, I guess.
Petco, my Petco, have a wax museum in Paris and one in California. And so I'm going to spend a week in Paris and then 3 weeks in California and then immediately fly back.
Oh.
And then I want to be on TV, stuff like Seth Meyers, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, The View, stuff like that.
That's good.
Honestly, she was pretty nice about it for it not being a planned situation. And in my opinion, I don't think she seems that frazzled. But I'm frazzled by the news that she's now ending this new project. This person was quoted saying, "It's strange because she's saying there is no podcast, but also telling people that she's going to return to TV. It's hard to figure out what is based in reality." Reality TV, can you imagine? But they're saying based in reality, like, is she delusional? The news of the podcast ending comes a day after she was spotted at a bar in New York, allegedly celebrating new things in the works. Apparently, Wendy went out celebrating new things in her life. She's bringing in Wendy 2.0. She's happy and excited for her new opportunities and zest for life. Which we love to hear that. But also, other sources mentioned to the press that she was drinking a lot and asking for more alcohol, and it seems like she really just wanted to get drunk, which doesn't really mix well with Wendy.
Alcohol was a real issue for Wendy for many years, and she was even at death's door due to her problems with alcohol before her friends intervened. But I bet when you live with a person who is constantly cheating on you and doesn't even hide his outings and vacays with his mistress, you can only try to dull your pain. While Wendy bravely admitted that she was dealing with issues and addictions she had in the past, her old problems returned amid her nasty divorce from ex-Kevin Hunter.
I would have
her
to
ex
hire
was
him
an awful man. But back to that moment at that gay bar, because I went through probably about like 6 or 7 articles, and I read them, and there wasn't any mention that the other article didn't have. But then I found another article, and it mentions this entire story that I can't find anywhere else. So pretty much when she was at this bar celebrating her new life, there was an entire crew that came in and turned the restaurant into a movie set. About 30 people in the crew. There were lights, camera, audio, producers. It looked like a reality show. So this moment that she had that seemed to be like casually, getting drunk and celebrating this success ended up being like some type of video like shoot. And it seems like she could be doing like reality TV or not. This is why I'm so confused, because I looked up so many things, even her issues with Wells Fargo, and there's nothing on it. That's because the case has been sealed in court. But looking at this, I found it really odd that no one else brought up that like there could have been a show filmed at this moment. They were even quoted saying that one of the scenes was Wendy having a dinner with a friend. Wendy came into the dining room with her big personality waving at all the guests. They were like extras in her movie. And while I'm excited that Wendy is working on new projects, I'm worried to hear that she's drinking again. And I don't mean to be lame, but this article writes, Wendy has decided to drink alcohol again despite completing a 2-month trip to rehab. And the rep said it's because she's starting fresh.
Williams drinking alcohol again surfaced recently as several tabloids posted information about her boozy outings. Well, this is a worrying sign because, like many people, I expected Wendy to get rid of all her unhealthy addictions and focus on her new life, free of her cheating ex and his mistress.
I don't mean to be the police over here, and I don't think we need to tell her what to do, but also, like, I understand that addiction doesn't go away. It's a struggle you have for a very long time. It's a battle, and to just kind of, like, start fresh and act like it never happened is kind of, like, ignorant. A diner also told the publication that she kept wanting to get drunk tonight. She wasn't hiding her drinking, before claiming the Star said she's moving to LA in 3 weeks. There are some things that are consistent here, like the Petco and this bar outing. She told them that she was going to LA for 3 weeks. So that seems to be true. The source added that Wendy told the table that she was looking for love. And like in Sex and the City, she's willing to
Wendy,
get
stop
down.
it.
Who was with Wendy that evening mentioned, she kept saying she wanted to get drunk tonight. According to Shooter, Wendy was in the mood for a party. He said to the media, "We had a bite. We had some drinks, but then when we were getting ready to say goodbye, Wendy didn't really want us to leave. She kept saying she wanted to get drunk tonight and wasn't hiding her drinking."
So maybe Wendy's getting drunk on a bender and throwing away all of her opportunities. But I don't think that's true. I don't think they fully pulled the plug on this podcast yet because there are a lot of conflicting reports. Like Page 6 is reporting that Wendy's podcast is not canceled despite these other reports. They claim the podcast still has an official website and Instagram, and it posted on March 11th. While we don't know when the podcast will be released, they're still selling merch on the website, so it seems like they're in business. But this person asked, what does canceling a podcast even look like? I mean, anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection can start a podcast. There's no special approval or financial backers, which isn't necessarily true. I can get why people have that mentality, but this
y'all be saying anything. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I hate the this is so common. But additionally, what the fuck you mean? What does canceling a podcast look like? It doesn't matter. Even if she did only need that to talk on the podcast, if she's not in her right state of mind, then she needs to cancel it. What are we talking about?
Just one of the nicer comments I came across.
Who is this woman? Y'all, I really don't know who this woman is. I don't know who this woman is.
Sure.
But I'm going to tell y'all one thing. Karma caught up with her ass. And I'm being serious. Karma done caught up with her ass. Y'all, if you don't know who Karma...
Y'all talk about people all the time. You talk your shit about these celebrities, about these influencers, about people at your weak-ass school, your weak-ass job. You are constantly talking shit about people as well. So to look down on Wendy and to be like, oh, well, look, Karma got her because look at all the shit she didn't talk about people. What about all the shit you didn't talk about people? Everybody talks shit about everybody, all right? It's a thing. Okay, I don't say everybody, but most people, you have, opinions about other people, and not all of them are pleasant, let's be clear. So to somehow imply that she deserves this, I feel like it's really fucked up. It's like, okay, she just got paid to talk shit. You do it for free, which I would argue is way, way more pathetic and sad. You're doing it for free, child. Like, nobody's paying you to run your mouth about these other people who don't even care about you.
Look at this picture. That is exactly what
like you, buddy. You're talking shit about her. Who's paying you? Nobody. You just run your mouth on an app. And you're not getting paid anything. She was getting paid. So you better than her because you not getting paid for it? I'm confused.
Can do to you when you have so much to say about people in your life.
As you doing this right now, the irony. The fucking irony, child.
Stop talking about people, y'all.
You are talking. People are not self-aware. You are talking about somebody right now, sir.
Offensive comments like this one. The ugly hoe is done. Or this one. Kara still ain't done with her ass. Alamea.
As you
and
talking
another.
shit.
She's still getting paid back for all the ugliness.
And then I would argue to laugh at somebody's downfall and their illness. You're a really shitty person. So again, who's really the villain here? You think you're better? How are you better? How? What you're doing is really sick.
Puts out in the world. She's always been a bad person, yet low-class people adore her. Oh my gosh, I guess me. Let this be a lesson to you and the energy put out is sure to return to the sender. I definitely want to hear what you guys think in the comments below.
I have personally never watched an episode of Wendy Williams in my entire life. Everything I've ever watched about her has been on these reaction videos. Prior to these reactions, I never kept up with her whatsoever. Like, at all. Just because I don't like talk shows and shit like that. She's just not my cup of tea personally. But I don't think that it's okay to talk down on this woman and celebrate her downfall. I just think that's really sick in the fucking head. And then you acting like you're better when you're speaking ill of someone who is clearly going through a lot of shit. Like, I don't know. I think that's fucking weird and very ironic. But anyway, yeah, something ain't right with her. It's giving more than alcohol. I don't know. Because I've been around some alcoholics in my day. And I don't know. They wasn't looking like this and talking like this and bugging their eyes like this. So I don't know. I don't want to make any accusations. Because I don't know what's going on with this woman. But something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something is off. And she clearly does not seem like herself at all. Like the few clips that he showed. Like something is off with her. Like it's like what is really going on. And I just don't feel like alcohol does that to people. Like I said, I've seen alcohol abuse up close and personal, and it's just something right. Anyway, yeah, hopefully she recovers though, and you know she gets well, because yeah, something is clearly off. Y'all let me know what y'all think though. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.